Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. This is to do with the front wheel bearings. These are all Prado ones. We only do the Prado ones. Look, mainly we were servicing Prado, so we started replacing them. People started asking, so that's why we do the front Prado ones already assembled, ready to go with the hubs on them. So here's just a bit of information for you anyway. This is some we've pressed apart, and this is the last set we're ever going to press apart again, is the plan. And this is why, because it's not fun. Okay, there's a few there. There's the hubs, right? So for the last time, we've got a few recycled hubs, if you like. They're genuine, so better than Chinese, whatever. Makes it a little bit cheaper than new hubs, but between the labour and the cost of the new hub, there's not much in it. So from now on, it's new hubs only. So for those that aren't aware, we do sell for the Prado 120, 150, the front hubs already assembled, the bearing with the 3 seals, the O-ring and the 2 seals, the bolts, the hub, the studs, everything ready to go. So I just want to show you in the bearing though, right? So these are a few that have been replaced, I think generally as prevention, not necessarily noisy, but whenever we press them apart, this is what we see, right? I'll hold it still for a minute. Just really dry and not much grease left there, more rust than grease. And this is usually around the 200,000 K mark. So we recommend if you're in a Prado that you just use to take the kids to school and you're not going far from home, no problem, you can just get it serviced. And if it gets noisy, you can just go get it fixed. Or if you get its service, if they're checking it properly, they'll be checking for play. And if it's got play in it, then you can get it replaced, and that's fine. But for people that go on long outback trips, more remote places, thousands of kilometres at a time, 10 or 15, 20,000 kilometre trips in remote areas, you don't want this. These can go bad really quickly. In 1,000 Ks, they can go from there was nothing wrong with it to a lot of play, to the point that you've got a spongy pedal. We've got one example where, it had a real lot of play. It was checked, it was fine. And then 1,000 Ks, it was really bad. And that was again around the 200,000 K mark. So that's why we recommend replacing them from about 200,000 if you're one of those people that use the vehicle that way. So hope you had a good look at those bearings and the grease that isn't in there. The other thing I note, they used to use one brand of bearings. I'm not going to talk about brands because they're both good brands. I'm not going to be hanging on a brand that I think's good, but they used to use one brand, now they use another. So obviously that's maybe a bit of an upgrade. The brand they use now I do prefer better. I like the bearings. We've never seen any of them come back. That being said, it's only been years and years, it hasn't been 10, 15 years yet. And when we put them together, we use a bit of RTV silicone on the inner seal. We're not sure if that's where the problem is, but when we look at a lot of these surface areas and try and work out where the water's come in, because we believe water's getting in there, obviously you can see the rust. Anyway, we do what we can to help prevent these things from happening again. Time will tell whether it works or not. Certainly not going to hurt, but it may help, it may not. So there's some old bearings pressed apart. Fun job. Feel free to go ahead and do that if you want to. I can supply you with bearings, bearing kit with seals, genuine, Japanese bearings, not the Chinese ones where the grease come out and you'll be doing it again in 40,000 Ks. Just the quality brands, either Toyota, genuine, or OEM, that's original equipment manufacturer. But from now on, if we're supplying bearings, it'll be just the bearing kit on its own, or it's going to be with a brand new genuine hub, already pressed together, assembled, ready to go, ready for DIY bolt on. Alright guys, hope that's helped. We've got, what do we got there? We've only got 6. We've got 6 sets of hubs there. They're yet to be cleaned up, and they'll get reassembled, reusing also the bolts. The bolts are $3 each. That's why it's expensive. There's lots of components. There's about 6 or 7 genuine parts we use when we put the genuine hubs together. The components to buy in Australia are about $1,400 or $1,500 worth of parts, and ours are $1,000 plus delivery for the pair, assembled, ready to go, brand new genuine parts from me. Thanks for your assistance if you support us with that sale, and if you don't, fair enough anyway. There's the information for you. I hope that helps. Once again, if this is on YouTube, hit subscribe if you haven't, notifications on, give us a thumbs up. We don't pay too much attention to comments on YouTube. It's more, we'll discuss and answer questions on our Facebook groups, which by now you should know where they are. If they're not, watch the other YouTube videos and you'll see that information. Alright guys, hope that's helped. Have a nice day. See ya.